Hello again, everybody. Harry Box with the Technical Trader. It's Tuesday night, July the 16th. These are the charts of the day at thetechtrader.com. Well, it's kind of a nasty day today, and the market did kind of roll over a bit. Let's see if there's a follow-through tomorrow. Despite the late rally, I'm not convinced we have seen any important low whatsoever. And that matter of fact, we may have seen an important high. So let's see what happens. I'm going to go over some longs and shorts today. Here's an example of some of the better-looking long patterns that we're following. GPRE, Great Plains Renewable, you can see the trend it's been in. It's been beautiful since the low in last July, so it's almost a year now. Stocks moved from 3.5 to 16 range and pulled back, and then today, last couple of days, it's moved up again. But look at the volume increasing as the stock moves up. We got a little bit of a double top around 16.5. I suspect we'll test that shortly. 17.5, however, is a target. There's some resistance there. However, my swing target is closer to 20. GTAT with a big short position is spiking up here. As you can see, the overall pattern appears to be a rising channel. After we gave you a swing trade back here, it ran up, it then reversed right in there, bounced and came down to the bottom of the channel and lateral support, spiked up right in here, and then formed a coiling type pattern for above the moving average for about a week and a half. Started to move up in the last 5 days in a row. It's been up today, culminating with a 9% pop of 42 cents to close at 5, just 9 cents off the high. Now we're in a resistance zone, but the top of the channel does tell me with the possibility we could see 5 3/4 pretty quickly, and maybe 6 3/4 on the secondary target. HSOL, well, until recently it was a laggard in the solar group, but you can see that the basing pattern on HSOL over the last couple of years broke out here, popped in a coil type pattern, and then broke out of the coil as volume picked up, ran up above resistance and flagged there for 4 days. Volume got awfully quiet, and then yesterday popped, today it followed through. However, the follow through got to some key resistance going back, and if the solar group doesn't follow through, this could be vulnerable to a pullback to retest. So keep your eye on this one. It does have some good volume, 3.6 million traded today, up 4.7%. IMMR emerging in a nice pattern of late. As you can see, the rising channel. After the breakout from the base, let's take a longer term look. You can see the big base pattern that formed from 2011 through beginning of this year, which was culminated with the explosive breakaway gap here on heavy volume, the run up and the pullback, which formed a new rising channel, and then that was broken here with another pop in volume as it ran up towards the top of the channel here, pulled back and slowly edged higher until today when it popped across that line, jumping 5% or 71 cents to close 2 cents off the high at 14.93. Not heavy volume, but it's not a heavily traded stock. I do think, however, based on a 1, 2, 3, 4 wave move off the important breakout, that this could make it up towards 19.5 3/4. IQNT with a big pop yesterday, similar to what we saw here. Note that the stock then went in this mode, and I'm thinking this is also going to make it up near 10 short term. SFUN with an explosive move, our winner of the day, jumping 533 or 19% on 1.5 million. After breaking out just slightly yesterday, it exploded today. Now, looking at the long-term picture, you can see that this stock has some room to run potentially. And when all-time high territory, this stock has a target right now upwards of low 40s. So this could be a big winner here short term. SOL, long basing pattern over the last couple of years in here. And we're moving up to the spike high about the 320 zone. Today got up to 364, so it actually broke out across that level and didn't close great, but still net it was up 55 cents or 19% on almost 10 million shares. So a big day for this stock, and we'll see if we can get a little bit carry forward. I got a $4 target short term, and then we'll see what happens beyond that. But longer term target would be upwards of something in maybe the 8 range. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. XIN, the major or large real estate firm in China, has been in a beautiful rising channel for over a year. When it came down in the 1.5 3/4 range, spiked up to nearly 4, moved back down, had a 1, 2, 3, and now a 4th wave as the stock pulled back in an orderly fashion. However, today's action jumping 39 cents or 9% on 1.1 million, which by the way is the heaviest volume in a couple weeks. Is testing key resistance. If we punch through here, look for a test of the 510 range. But beyond that is where we really get interesting. We're going to target of 5 3/4, as much as 7 1/4 intermediate target. Trucking firm XPO with a big pop yesterday and a beautiful follow through up another 206 or 9.46%, 900,000. Good volume for that stock. The long-term chart pattern shows a major rising channel in play, and you can see how the stock is trending with a potential target that could be ballistic here. This is a big move today for XPO, and I'd be willing to look at a pullback entry op for a decent swing trade to the high 20s at least. That concludes the long side. Now on the short side, I want to bring this back in here a little bit. Hang on a sec while I do this, and then we'll go over some box of shorts for you. Here we go. Agrium, he down 2 or 2% today. You can take a look at the overall broken pattern. Snap back to the trend line. The rollover, the hard run down all the way from 115 down to the 83 range, and then the recent bounce that took it right to resistance. Today it rolled over, as I said, 2 points, and if it gets back to below the 88 range, this could retest the lows near 83, maybe do a lot lower, eventually down towards the mid-70s. SFUN, CPHD. Now, the overall chart pattern indicates to me that this broke, retested, formed a wedge. Today dropped a bit, may have fallen through this pattern. That's going to get it down on a third wave. Here's wave 1, 2, 3. Wave could be down 28 range. DFT also breakdown and pullback and a 3-wave corrective move, kind of a flag. If it fails here, and it appears it could roll over it, take out recent lows down in that zone, and eventually get down there 20 or less. Lamar, I put a short swing trade on this one today, as I view the broken trend line and lateral price support, followed by a retest of that with a rising wedge. That's very bearish, considering the technicals are barely moving as well. So look for a breakdown and a run down towards 38.9. Other stock we put out today was LU. Look, folks, this is a major channel up here. And that line there was broken. Followed by what? A rising wedge. Followed by a breakdown of $1.94 or 3% today on 3 million shares. Very conceivably could see a retest of the lows down around 59.60 short term, a break of that level, and we're looking at 52.53 zone. NTI continues to be on my short list, and I'll show you why in a second. The breakdown here, followed by the wedge, followed by a big consolidation, another breakdown to test support, a bounce back to test resistance, another breakdown, pop, a little mini wedge, and another breakdown followed by a much larger wedge. But technicals look lousy and have been. I believe the stock still has lower levels to go. Obviously, you could stop it over 26 or so, but if it does get down here, I'm looking for something around 19, 20. RBC, Regal Beloit, also formed the head and shoulders top, broke down hard, formed a big wedge, and then broke down, but held the lows, and now has what? It's a rising bear wedge. If we break that and come down, break 61, I'm looking for 56.7 short term. RNF still in bearish mode to me. After we spotted the breakdown and the wedge here, and I put a short on it, that worked out well. Then it snapped back, rolled over, formed a bear flag, rolled over again, and now it's got a bear wedge. This does look lower to me. I think we're going to see a move down towards 2021. Sirona Dental, probably going to put this out tomorrow. I just love the way this looks from a negative standpoint. The breakdown, the bear flag, the breakdown that took out the neckline of the head and shoulders top, a sharp move down followed by a rise right to that neckline in the 50-day moving average, as well as the declining tops line. If it's going to fail, this will be the ideal place. It was up 78 cents today. I'll have to keep close tabs on it, but if it rolls over, particularly under 66 3/4 or so, I think this stock could start to fall away to test 59 and then down into the 54 range. Somatics, SRDX, we had that out as a swing trade short earlier here. It worked out well. Now another rising wedge. This should be put on the list again, as it looks like it's going to roll over towards 18. And lastly is Williams Brothers, Williams Companies, formerly Williams Brothers, WMB, which appears to have broken the major trend channel, made a lower low, and then snapped back in a wedge pattern. It does appear that that may have more room to the downside. This is leg 1 and 2. We could see 3, 4, and 5 before it's over and get it down to 27. And those are the long and short of it today. HB out. I'll talk to you tomorrow.